Let's go. First card, Incisive Tactician. It's an 8 mana 4/5. It sucks. All right, let me see. Reputation, I cost 6. Okay, never mind. It's a 6 cost 4/5 when I'm summoned Rally. I mean, it's a Noxus Rally. Rally in Noxus isn't that bad. Compare this to Shampoo. How good is Shampoo compared to this? Shampoo can be denied. This can't. Like, you can deny Shampoo. And at the moment, we have 2 different regions they can deny. We have Shurima and Ionium. But it's only ever playable if it costs 6. And Reputation is really hard to hit. Like, this doesn't even fit in a good Draven deck. Like, this has to be in, like, LeBlanc Sivir deck. But Rally's really strong in LeBlanc Sivir. If you get it. 8 mana is so expensive. Even 6 mana is... Ah, man. I have to say this is understated. Maybe give it 5/6 stats. Maybe then I would consider it. Like, if this was a 5/6, at that point, it trades really well with a lot of things. At 5/6, I think maybe. But 4/5, it just is it feels a little bit weak. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say no, unfortunately. But, yeah, probably not. Orange Man is 6 mana. Yeah, but also Orange Man heals your face. It heals all of your units. And it's guaranteed 6-drop. This is not a guaranteed 8-drop. You don't always have Reputation by mana 6, chat. Next card, Thrashing Snapper. When an enemy blocks me, give me +3/+0 this round. That's not for Reputation, guys. It's only if something blocks it. But now that you say that, it's not bad for Reputation decks. You have to play in a very aggro Reputation deck, though. I kind of like that, man. I was going to say trash, but I kind of like it. Because nothing can trade with this. And it's a one-man... Like, you never lose tempo with this. Pretty cool. Pretty cool for Reputation decks. I like it. I think it's a pretty good card. I'd actually play this in Reputation decks. Because they have to block it if you're playing aggro. They can't let this keep doing 2 damage every single turn to face. And if they spend the Vile Feast to kill it, well, good. 1 mana for 2. So overall, very solid card. And nothing can block this positively. Except for a 0-cost card, right? A 0-cost blocker could possibly stop this. This will make LeBlanc Reputation deck stronger, I think. You have to kill it. And how do you kill it? Well, by blocking it. So, great overall. Next card, SUMPWORKER Posse. Elusive 4 to attack, deal 1 to the Nexus and the enemy. What? That's the most broken 2-drop I've ever seen in my life! That's the most broken 2-drop I've ever seen in my life. Oh, it's a token as well. Alright, it's a token, chat. Never mind. Never mind. I was like, there's... Like... I was... In my brain, I was envisioning Swim going... I was envisioning Swim just ending it. Like, Swim was... That was... I was thinking, holy crap, I need to stop this right now and go to Swim's VOD and watch the VOD, dude. There was nowhere... That was literally what I was going to... I was like, what? It's impossible. It's not possible, chat. Alright, what makes this card? Alright, it's this dude. Okay, alright. That makes more sense. CHIREAN SUMPWORKER, a 2 mana 1/2. Okay. When you summon another CHIREAN SUMPWORKER, obliterate me and transform allied CHIREAN SUMPWORKERs everywhere into... Oh, so you don't get 2 copies on board either. He gets obliterated. So you only have... When you play the second one, you only have 1 of these. You don't have 2 of them. I'm just saying, when you play this on turn 2 and then again on turn 3, you'll only have 1 of these on board, not 2. Because this is a 2-drop. It's pretty cheap. What if... we play like with Splinter Soul and Fading Memories? What if we do this, chat? And on top of that, we can play Scribe of Sorrows even if we wanted to. Like, I don't know, but like this is looking spicy, chat. That's looking pretty spicy to me. Stalking Shadows is nice. Like we can go full on that win con. It's in PNZ, which means you can actually go super heavy on the copy mechanics, which is also pretty cool. This is insane value. This is insane damage. Damn, man, this is a cool card. It's actually scary. It really is. No, not even meme tier potential. I could see this being good enough to carry wins on its own. This is very... The only problem is, in this kind of deck, you need to draw this. So how do you guarantee drawing into this? How do you guarantee it? You need a very draw-heavy deck. Because there's currently no really good... What if you do a Felios into tutor 2-drops? I think it's a little bit too slow. But you can use the weapon card. Not Aphelios, but you use the 1-cost card, right? From Targon. The 1-cost card that gives you the card that tutors this out. Because in all seriousness, you just need to tutor it out. It would cost 4 to tutor this out of your deck. But then if you're running ways to make copies in your hand, it's not that bad. Crescendum, yeah, Crescendum. This is a spicy, spicy attempt at a new archetype of winning. I like it. I like it. Adaptatron 3000. When you summon a tech, we share keywords. What else is a tech, chat? Turrets. Is that it? Is it only turrets, techs? Production surge. Heimer turrets. I'm not feeling it, chat. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling it. Even though he's kind of cool. And all of your turrets have all the things on top of each other. Is this really the direction you want to take Heimerdinger? I don't know. Heimer is not good because he makes like some super synergy board. He's good because he just gives you free value. And this is a 1-drop. I feel like it doesn't do anything until like late game. And late game, you don't want to be playing 1-drops. I'm not feeling it. A 1-mana 1/3. I don't know. It's a cool idea. I just don't think it's going to be a tier 1 deck. Ardent Tracker 6-mana 3/5 already sucks. Scout. When you summon an elite, reduce my cost, but I mean, you would really want to have scouts in the Cataclysm deck, but the problem is there's only one elite scout, right? It's the dude that has only 2 HP. So the problem with that is that he's a 3-mana 2/2, and he dies to Mystic Shot if he doesn't have his barrier up. So he kind of sucks for rally because he just dies to anything. This has 5 HP, so a lot harder to kill. I actually think this might see play. Call me crazy, I think this might see play just because it interacts so well, because elite decks love rally. Elite decks need to have rally. If you're playing an elite deck and you're playing J4 in said deck, rally is amazing. So, yeah, but what if you don't have... Nah, I think this is playable. I think this might see play. Turn 4 on curve, yeah. Like, this is not a 6-cost. This is like a 3-cost, 2-cost pretty often. Because this is going to be in a full-on elite deck. I like this. I think this is okay. You can curve up pretty well. And even at the worst-case scenario, something that's a dead card in hand, like you draw it as a top deck. Even then, I mean, it's a 3/5 with Scout that can give you rally. It's not that bad. I like it. Also, this can be 0 mana on mana 6. This can be zero cost. You drop 2 of these down to mana 6 attack with both of them, with J4 coming out as well. Like, imagine you get 2 of these at the opening hand and you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elites. 5 elites. Mana 6 comes around, you drop 2 of these on the board, you attack with both, and J4 pulls the biggest blocker, and then you attack again with... That's crazy. This can give some really, really good stuff to happen. Like, this isn't bad. So I like this. All right. Cythria. Elite 10/10. Type 1 in chat if you want to see an only Cythria deck with only Cythria units. And me winning with it. I don't know how many losses in a row I'm going to have. But I feel like with a 10-cost Cythria, I can do it. I feel like with this card, it's possible to do, chat. Now listen here. Listen here. I still don't know what it does, so it better be a win con. Challenger 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. 10's everywhere. And she looks like a 10. Holy crap. I like this card already. When I'm summoned, double other allies' power and health and grant them... Oh! All right, listen. Listen, chat. I need to have a conversation with you. Oh, baby. Listen here, chat. This is my Undying deck. Just got even spicier, boys. My Undying deck has gotten even spicier. Undying loves Challenger. Undying getting double stats is beautiful, boys. Oh my goodness. I love it. Love it. And if I'm playing Undying, I might be playing Ladros. And if I'm playing Ladros, I can tutor this out of Ladros as well. Oh my lord. Chat, what do I say to that? And plus, that makes it even better because in my Undying decks, I will be running stuff like maybe... Oh my lord, this is gonna be fun. I don't even turn 8 Matron into the... Oh my god. All right, listen. This has some insane potential. My Harrowings are gonna be so much better. Only problem is this gets summoned before everything else, so it doesn't really buff anything on Harrowings, unfortunately. So it's only good if I have stuff on board already with Harrowings. So Harrowings kind of meh. Yo, chat. What about Dawn and Dusk on this? Like, you Dawn and Dust this if it's on board, and then you have like you got a 40-40 on board. Is there a way to give this Overwhelm if you Dawn and Dusk it? Is there? Ionia Demacia? What if you Dawn and Dust this? What happens? Guys, wrong colors. Ghost. Oh, Ghost, baby. Ghost, Dawn and Dust, chat. And then you even have Denies to protect it. I mean, good. We're going to do so many cool things. This card has so many cool ideas you can go down, my brother. Oh my lord. Ghost 40-40. But not only a 40-40. Listen, chat. A 40-40, a 20-20, and a 10-10. All with elusive on board. And if you have a Karma on board, it summons 4, right? 4 more. So it's a 20-20, 40-40, 80. It's 160 if there's a Karma on board. With elusive. Opponent plays Catastrophe right after and you laugh at them. Like, 30-30? That all you got, brother? Nice try. Listen. There's gonna be some... Oh my lord. Oh my god. Yo, you're right. What about go get it, dude? Oh my lord. Go get it, brother. You attack with everything, right? The guy blocks. You have a 6-6 on board. You have Karma on board. You go get it. It gets boom, boom, twice. Your 6-6 is all of a sudden a 24-24. Like... I've got... Guys, I have dreams. I have dreams, chat. And the thing is, the effect is permanent. Like... The effect is permanent. That's the crazy part about this. It's a permanent effect. Like, it's not even for that turn. Holy moly. Yo, what about War Mothers? War Mothers with... That's a spicy War Mother proc, brother. This is going to be fun. Revitalizing Roar. It's pretty cool. It is. Because you can combo with other stuff. Targon's Peak. Plus Acel. Yeah, we've already talked about Matron. A lot of cool things we can do with this. And she has Challenger, which is so cool, dude. Yeah, this is great. I love this. Because this actually makes sense in an Undying deck. You drop this, all your Undyings get Challenger, they get double stats, and when you attack, you literally wipe the enemy board if you have an Undying deck. Like, this is a great way to make all of those 2/2, 3/3 Undyings actually wipe everything off the board. So I love it. Good epic card. It's great. I love the card. Fantastic. Bone Skewer. Fast! An ally strikes an enemy, then moves to the top of your deck. Now you won't miss Allegiance. To help you hit Allegiance? Oh no, dude. Problem is, I don't really care about the Allegiance of this color. You know what's really cool with this? You can actually make Allegiance decks that are consistent but have a lot of non-Allegiance colors in it, right? You can like make a 20-20 color deck that always hits Allegiance. That's really cool. When does this ever better than single combat though? Like, when do you really want to just put something back to the top of your deck? It's only really strong summon effects, right? In response to removal. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It went back to your deck. Like, you're losing sort of... Like, it's basically the same as single combat when your unit dies. They don't strike each other, I'm aware, but he goes back in your deck, which means you're losing card advantage. It has to be something that you want to keep drawing into. Like, what unit do you really value more than the rest of your deck? That's the thing. You can save a champion. Yeah, it's basically only for champions. But champions usually trade pretty decently. Like, what champion has a ton of attack and not much defense and doesn't cost too much to replay? Doombeast isn't bad. Like, stuff like that, yeah. Stuff that you want to replay to have summon effects, usually. Stuff that are not so much units, but are more... Yeah, Doombeast it works well with. I could see Doombeast being good for this. TF is crazy. TF can be pretty good, because TF does give you good value. He draws cards. He has a great summon effect. Like, this can be pretty good, for example, with... the Ionia stun card. What is it called? The 4-cost stun that makes a unit on board. It's okay. Rampaging Bakai can be decent. Sure. Stuff like that, basically. But Rampaging Bakai is a really good body. You don't want to lose a 4/5 body for no reason. Toss cards are good. Yeah, I like the 3/2 toss lifesteal. That's a pretty good one. Okay, so this is good for deep. I agree. This is really good for deep cards. Because drawing into cards that toss can be powerful. What goes to the top of the deck? The ally? No, your ally, yes. Omenhawk? No, because you want to draw into the cards Omenhawk buffs usually. You can Shadow Block and instruct another unit. That's true. But then you're... Yeah, I don't know. It has its uses for sure. The fish that obliterates, yeah. It has its uses for sure. I think this is pretty good for deep. But overall, I like it. It's pretty cool. All right, next card. Monster Harpoon. 6 mana fast, deal 5 to a unit. Plunder, I cost 3 less. Trash, right? Oh wait, it's unit, not. Wait, that works on champions, right? It works on champions, right? For a sec, I thought this was only non-champions. Okay. If it can do damage to champions, yes. Why did I think follower? I misread follower. No, we're good. Okay. Because for a second I thought it was only followers. I was gonna say it's absolute trash. If it works on champions, it's pretty good. I don't know if it's great. I don't think it's great. 3 mana kill Garen, only if you get Plunder. Like, what deck do you really play this in? Trundle Killer, yeah. But, like, look at the color. What are you playing this in? Sejuani Gangplank. But it's a card that can't go face. It can only target units. And has a restriction for hitting units at that. So it's not great versus, like, open attacks either. Like, this is more like you attack, combat finishes, and then you use it. But as a combat trick, because usually you get the Plunder after combat. That's the thing. Like, this is combat is done, and then after combat you use this. Even Powder Monkeys, it's after combat. It's not during combat. So the fast advantage, it's I don't know. You can Plunder at combat, yeah, but then you need to actually spend like a burst Plunder card. Just play exactly like Warning Shot. After attack, yeah. So this is like a cleanup card. It's not really that amazing. Like, yeah, you have to combo with Warning Shot in order, or something that at start of round does damage, right? Like, for example, Ember Maiden could do it. Ignition from the bot. Yeah, stuff like that. Exactly. You basically kill every champ in the game, true. Something, but it's not a Vengeance. You can't compare it to 6 mana Vengeance. Vengeance is much more versatile in the sense that it kills anything. No matter if it has barrier, if it has toughness, more HP, you can't use HP buffs to save it. You can't. It's not really a Vengeance per se. It's a good removal card. I would compare this much more to a Black Spear than Vengeance. This is more comparable to Black Spear. It does 1 damage more than Black Spear. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Because 5 damage is very significant for 3 mana. This will put you way ahead on board. And when Bilgewater gets ahead on board, that's when things get very, very dangerous. Alright. Next card. Succumb to the Cold. Burst, I really love it. 4 mana burst cards I love. Oh, man. I don't know. An overcosted Frostbite. Like, Frostbite on its own is a good card, but 3 and more 4 mana are worlds apart. Like, this is basically 1 mana extra, draw a card and play a Frozen Thrall. Like, but Frozen Thrall isn't worth 1 mana a lot of the time. Like, you're never playing this in mana 3. Like, you're playing this in, like, mana 6, 7. What's a Frozen Thrall doing on the board at that mana point? Maybe if Freljord has a reason to play with Shurima, with the Shurima cards we saw, like, 2 days ago, there was a lot of very fast advancing cards. Maybe this is okay. But other than that, I'm not sure, man. Maybe you just want... Maybe there's some form of landmark synergy that you just need to have. And if you want to have freeze in your decks, maybe this makes more sense than a freeze that doesn't have landmark synergy. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to give this a big I'm not sure. I'd never played in a deck that we have at the moment. But with the new cards coming out, has potential. Getting a free landmark on board, there might be some landmark synergies we're missing. What if there's like a unit where while he's on board, like whenever you summon a landmark, reduce its countdown by half, or I don't know, something like that. And then you have countdown cards as well on top of that. Maybe there's something crazy that I'm missing. You never know. I'm gonna give this let's hold on our opinions. I'm not gonna give my opinion on this because I'm not sure what there is left in store. The Wings and the Wave. Play effect. Play me as first wave or last wave. Or last wind. Okay. So, if I play him as first wave when I'm summoned, summon a prey. good for Kindred. So it's a 0-1, right? It's a double 0-1. Okay. 2 0-1s. Okay. Or Last Wind. To play me kill an ally. So this is a 1-mana Butcher with 1 more HP. Pretty dang good, man. Pretty dang good card. Holy crap. They're both so good. Sack Material and Sacrifice Enabler. That's spicy, dude. That's so spicy. When you just thought Thresh Nasus was not going to get stronger, my goodness. You know what this is going to fit into, though? This is going to fit into my my Dehu Endure deck, where I only revive Dehu Endures with Callista. This is going to fit in my Callista Dehu Endure deck, dude. I have dreams. I think that would need to buff the first wave, though. 0-1-0-1 is something that's really weak. Doesn't matter. 2 blockers for 1 cost is amazing versus aggro. You're playing versus like something that's attacking with 5 units on board. You get to summon 2 units at once. That's already amazing as is. Buried in Ice. This is the only card I saw, actually. So this is the only card that's not a brand new card for me. Obliterate each enemy to summon a Frozen Tomb in its place. 2 turns later... After 2 turns happen, kaboom! Come at me, bro! Alright. We are spicy, boys! That is spicy. I know It That Stares fits, guys, but it's such an expensive combo to do. And it's a 2-turn combo, and... like, that's spicy, dude. I really want to run this card as well. That's gonna be fun. It's good in your Beautiful deck. Yeah, recalling all the landmarks is amazing. Like, the problem with Beautiful is that a lot of times you don't want to recall their units because they're so cheap. Like, versus like an aggro deck where they have like 5 1-cost units, you recall them and they just replay them all the same turn. Making them into landmarks is really, really, really cool. I might make something really crazy with like... I got some ideas with that. That's a really cool idea. Passage Unearned with that is a neat combo. It's a side grade to Ruination, another color, for sure. The fact that it's in the same color as ramp cards is really cool as well. Like, this could fit in my Beautiful deck, I'm not even kidding. This is cool, man. I like it. I love these kinds of cards. Spiral Stairs. 3 mana. Landmark. Countdown 3. Create a Seed of Strength in hand. This is most comparable to Zenith Blade, okay? Zenith Blade is 1-2. This is 3-2. So this is... slightly more stats. Zenith Blade draws a card, and this is on a 3 countdown. You got to use it that turn. So, Zenith Blade is better than this card in almost every way. The only way that this card is better than Zenith Blade is because of this. I can't know for sure that there's not going to be a card that makes this viable, but I think this is a bad card. I'm going to say it now. I think this card is bad. Let's continue. Rockfall Path. Countdown 2. Obliterate the weakest enemy. No, not just anti-aggro. I'm sorry, chat. This is not anti-aggro card. This is anti-control, too. What? They play... What happens if you play this on mana 4? Can they play Trundle on 5? What does a Trundle deck do on 5 if you play this on mana 4? Tell me. Tell me. What do they do? Do they skip an entire turn because of it? Is it 2 mana your opponent plays no units in a control deck? What does a control deck do against this? What does a Fiora deck do against this? What does any, like... This is better versus control than it is aggro. I mean, it's cool versus aggro, but it's not really an anti-aggro card. This is an anti-everything card. Like, 2 mana, you can't play your 5 mana drop, you know? It's that insane. Not even that. It's mana 5, you pass. They're thinking, crap, this deck runs triple Rockfall. If I play Tryndamere now, he's just going to kill my Tryndamere for free. Not only that, you play this, they play Tryndamere, you drop a Talia on top of it. Now they can't even play a second unit to save Tryndamere. Why? Because Talia doubled this down, because next turn he can play Talia and then 2 units die. With 2 of these on board. Not only that, like, boom, promising future on top of Talia, like, I mean, there's a lot of cool things you can do with it. Like, I'm not saying that's going to be a combo that's strong, but still, this has potential. This has potential. And that's a promising future proc the next turn, right? Like, if this is a countdown 1, boom, promising future, it's a 4 mana remove any unit, basically. Like, let's say you played this turn. Next turn, countdown is 1. Your opponent plays a second unit. Boom. Copy it. Now it kills 2 units. This card is going to make decks work. Like, this is going to be the toughest card to beat. This is insanely strong. Because you can choose what to remove. Like, they play a low unit, you just kill that unit, right? And then they still have to lose one of their units. And it's only 2 mana. It's actually insane. It's a trap card. It's an amazing card. Earth Elemental, 4 mana, 3/5. The stats aren't bad. Once you've summoned 4+ landmarks this game, grant me 3/0. 4 mana, 6/5. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. And I mean, of course, you're only really playing this in landmark decks. But that's a pretty good stat distribution. 5 HP is really good in mana 4. Even 3/5 is not that bad. The fact that he has Overwhelm at 6 attack is really, really strong. I like it. Like, he's not bad, but he's not amazing either. The 5 HP is really good, though. Blue Sentinel. 2 mana, 2/3. Last Breath, summon the Crest of the Insight. Get an extra mana gem this round the next turn. I'm going to say that's amazing. I think it's really, really good. The stat line is absolutely on par for a 2-drop. The thing is, in Legends of Runeterra, every next mana, units get better and better. Like, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. Every single next mana is better than the last next mana. That's how this game works. So, to be able to go 2-drop into 4-drop is so much better than 2-drop into 3-drop. Like, why? Because 4-drops will always advantageously trade with 3-drops. 5-drops always beat 4-drops in trade. Normally for ramp, you have to skip a turn of development. In this case, you don't. So you get to play 2 into 4-drop into 4-drop instead of 2 into 3-drop to 4-drop. And that's when he dies, of course. Like, you play this on 2. You don't attack with it, right? Mana 3 comes along. Does your opponent attack knowing if he attacks, you're going to literally develop a 5-drop on mana 4? You don't have to. He doesn't have to die. He prevents your opponent from attacking a lot of the time. Let's say you're playing him in a Trundle deck. Your opponent all of a sudden doesn't want to attack on mana 3. Why? Because he knows you're going to play a Trundle on mana 4. Holy crap, what do you do now? I think the card is good. I like the card a lot. I think the card forces your opponent to play around it, which is always a good thing. It makes your opponent do inoptimal plays a lot of the time. But overall, I think it's mostly 5-drops that are going to get the biggest value out of it. Because 5-drops are scary. Like, 5-drops is usually where really big things start to happen. And getting a 5-drop in mana 4 is crazy good. Stonebreaker. If you've summoned 4+ landmarks this game, deal 4 to an enemy and 2 to the enemy nexus. It doesn't have Overwhelm. Its stats are very, very mediocre for 6-drop. But it's always going to be activated. This is always going to be played. Like, you're always going to have 4+ landmarks almost by mana 6 in a very, very landmark heavy deck. So, how good is 6 mana deal 4 to an enemy, including champions, and 2 to the nexus, and get a 6? This is good. I think it's good enough to play. I don't think it's a great card. I don't think it's a... It kills a lot of things. Guys, the thing is, you're killing a unit, getting a 6/4 on board, and doing 2 to the nexus. Now, this right here, 2 to the nexus, makes me believe that these landmark decks are actually going to be more tempo decks than super late game decks. Because super control late game decks, usually they don't care about dealing damage to nexus. They have a win con like past mana 10. They get something really big to win the game. Whereas this, it feels like this compounded with this makes it look like you want to be chipping away at their HP to finish them off like by mana 10 or whatever. So we will see what direction landmarks go once we see more cards, once we see more synergies happening, but maybe this too is actually significant. I'm ready.
There is Malphite. I am Malphite. Snow on my head, rain on my feet.
Papa, big as a mountain and
Twice as strong. Good memory chip.
I love the interactions with Chip and Malphite, dude.
Go this way. Hello, little thing.
I can't chat. I can't watch Chip get beat up. I can't do it. That ain't right, chat.
I am gonna shake things up.
Dude. Imagine new expansion coming out and you're playing freaking Targon Invoke. And there's going to be people like this. There are actually people in this world who are waiting for the expansion to launch, waiting eagerly to play their Invoke decks. There's people like that in this world. Believe it or not. They're out there. Or spider aggro. True.
Landslide.
Out of my face!
Sometimes the land hits back.
That's right. That's right. 10 to face. 15. 18. Easy.
I will find Chip.
Great video. Like it a lot. Fantastico! I'm a fan. I'm sorry, Shai. This is broken. This is so broken. Listen. A combat trick that does 3 damage at fast speed and stuns a unit at fast speed. That's so broken. I'm sorry. That's broken beyond belief. That's amazing. It both stuns a unit and kills a unit. Concussive Palm. In a landmark deck, I think this is maybe even better than Concussive Palm. I mean, Concussive is good in some scenarios where you want to have a blocker and a stunner at the same time. It's comparable. It's pretty comparable. It is. When being used as a combat trick, I'd say this is better. But I don't know. It's hard to say again. The thing is, this can kill champions. Like, that's what makes it so versatile. Like, what? They have a level the least on board, you kill her. They have a team on board, you kill him. Like, it has versatility that the stun does not have. Removal with the versatility to stun as a combat trick is huge. It can kill Fiora, yeah. So, it's not just about the stun, it's the fact that it can be used in many different ways. Of course, its versatility is very much limited to the fact that you have to have landmarks in your deck to use it that way. But in a landmark deck, it's a very strong card. This card single-handedly can make landmark decks much stronger. Second of all, as somebody just said, it's a fast speed Targon card. Targon has almost no fast cards. Literally, Targon is all about slow cards and a few burst cards. So, having a fast speed card in Targon that's a combat trick is a big deal. You can main deck this. You don't have to run Malphite. You can main deck this in Targon. Splash in a little bit of Shurima and you're good. Now, first of all, we know Malphite has no Overwhelm, but he's a pretty big stat box. We do know other cards do have Overwhelm, though, and they have ways to gain Overwhelm, and Targon has ways to give Overwhelm. I think if we're playing Malphite decks in general, Overwhelm will be one of the bigger win cons, because the units are just so high in terms of attack, that this is a gigantic deal. It's a big deal to be able to stun units that are blocking your Overwhelm units. So overall, I think this card is going to go great in a Malphite deck. Or a general landmark deck at that. So I think this card is amazing. Now, speaking of, we have Malphite. 7 mana, 6/10. He's a great blocker and attacker because he has tough. Like, this is not dying to combat anytime soon. This will kill like 6 units before it dies to combat. This only dies to combat versus really big units like Nautilus or like Summon Dragon or whatever. But in general, this is really tough to kill. This has to die to Vengeance. Direct removal. This doesn't die to Concerted Strikes, to single combats. Like Concerted Strike, you realize you have to have 2 6-attack units to kill it. If you have 2 5-attack units, it's only 8 damage. This can take a lot of hits. This is not dying easy. Alright, so level up is summon 12 plus mana of landmarks. Wait, was that? That's how I played him, right? You know, I remembered badly. For some reason in my head, it was summon a certain amount of landmarks. Wow, so you can level really fast. In my head, it was... Yeah, I forgot how he played. I forgot, because I only played him like a few times. I entirely forgot what his level up condition was. Okay, so it's a 12 mana worth of landmarks. Why did I think it was a certain amount of landmarks? I don't recall. So this card is definitely pretty cool. It has a very easy to meet level up condition in a landmark deck, and it has a huge payoff. He doesn't have to witness the mana being done, so he can drop on 7 and be leveled occasionally. 12 mana landmarks. Over a few turns, not necessarily. But yeah, it's not easy to do, but if you build a lot of landmarks, you'll get it eventually. Duplicating landmarks also works. Yes, it does, indeed. Malphite is literally useless. He doesn't do anything. You're insane if you think that. Look at this card, dude. Every 2 turns, yes, basically. Every one of your turns, you get this. Because, like, defensively it's good, but offensively is where this really shines. Garen, Malphite. Too hard to pull off. Garen doesn't really work that well with landmarks in general. I don't think it's going to be a Garen deck. Yasuo is more likely, but even then... Like, Yasuo loves this card. I think Yasuo deck has to have a lot of units, though. And this needs a lot of landmarks. I don't think you can have both in the same time. We'll have to wait and see. But this is fleeting, it is. It has the fleeting sign on it. Still, this is just a win condition. Like, if you have Malphite leveled up, your opponent has no blockers every turn that you're going to attack. It's insane. And the thing is, if you play this, he plays a blocker, you can attack with Malphite's Ground Slam, and if he blocks an Overwhelm unit, you just win the game. So this is definitely a very cool alternative finisher. And depending on what your opponent's running, if they're running like Demacia, how do you kill this? How do you get rid of this? Detain? I don't think it's good enough. I think this deck will go well with Demacia in general. If you're playing like single combats, because all of the units are such high attack, high HP, that single combats probably fit well with this deck in general. I mean, I love it. I love the idea behind it. I don't know if it's going to be tier 1. I actually honestly don't think it's going to be a tier 1 per se deck. At least not the full-on landmark archetype. I don't quite see it yet. But I haven't seen all the cards, so I can't be sure. It's definitely going to be fun, though. No doubt about that. Landmarks are not... If you entomb an enemy unit... No, because it's being summoned on his board. You're not summoning it. It's he's summoning it, basically. So no, I don't think so. I'm hoping they buff several landmarks with coming expansion. I doubt they will. I don't see it. It counts for you? Really? What do you mean? I don't think it does. I think if you entomb your own unit, it does count.
What do you think of Malphite and the 5 mana Noxus landmark?
It's too slow, I think. I don't think it's fast enough. I really don't. It counts Talia, doesn't it? It does, yes. Because it's being summoned on your board. And that's true. Entomb Landmark does cost 0. That's a good point. Overall, they're really fun. Really fun card. Really fun win condition. You do get this on the opponent's turn if you level him up on your opponent's turn. So if you drop this on 7, it's your opponent's attack. He has to play his cards or you could just stun everything. He has to attack right away. Awesome animations. Probably some of the best in the game. If not, like, top 3 for sure, I would say. Top 5 for sure, let's say. Level up animation. And Malphite's Ground Slam looks amazing. Like, this card on its own also looks amazing. Unstoppable Force looks freaking awesome. Just great overall. So, not really much more to say. I played with the cards. They were fun as hell to play with. So, like, how I see it, I think you need... The thing is, double Vengeance and Ruinations make it really hard for Malphite to stick.
True.
I like, every time I had Vengeance, I would keep it. I wouldn't mulligan it out, because I knew my lost condition is you having that one big overwhelm unit on board.
And I'll take that advice into this game.
ROCKFALL's really good. I want to find, I think I want to find a maximum amount of... This is actually good as well, I think. It is a countdown 3, but I don't think I need to be super early game focused in this matchup. I need to be like mid-range focused and just get enough landmarks that I'm not going to lose due to lack of them. So let's try that. Advance an allied landmark 2 rounds. This means I can play, yeah, this looks good to me actually. I'll play landmark into 5-4 attack. He'll have a 2-2, but again, the trade is really good for us. If I'm open attacking, he can't get his 4-4 on board in time, because he's a 3-drop 4-4. So I'm going to play Hibernating Rock Bear here. Yeah, he should not be able to get it in time. He shouldn't have a blocker. It means 5 to face or a 1-for-0 trade.
Rate 2 damage.
Yeah. Though in this matchup, I don't think damage matters much. I think it's just whoever ends up with a better board state.
Yeah, I do think that it's just big finish for either deck.
Let's pick up Talia here. We're getting close to leveling Talia, so I think we want to go as much aggro as humanly possible. Get fair trades with this guy as well, as much as possible. So the 4-4 is annoying, but he can't attack with the 4-4, so I'm not really upset about that. And then we can drop ROCKFALL into Talia, I guess. His start will suck after that, I think. ROCKFALL Path. How good is ROCKFALL Path? We're 2 out of 5. This is actually good. I'm gonna drop Rock Harper immediately. I don't think this guy will make a big deal out of his hand. Who knows, man? Maybe I'll lose Rock Harper if I do it. Let's drop this first. See if he has it or not, because then there's no point dropping the Rock Harper. I'll take this trade. Because I'm not getting a better trade. And the question is, do I play Rock Harper or do I play Talia? I think Talia just to level her up. Because once I drop Talia, it's an auto level. And he has no blocker for Talia. So this looks pretty solid. This is a fun combo. I like this combo a lot.
Yeah, I really love Talia copying landmarks. You can do a lot of really cool things.
It's just hard to level her on 5 usually. Usually it's like a turn after. Here's the thing. He might pass here, waiting for my attack. And I'm actually of the mind to pass back. The only problem with that is he might Ruination the next turn. So that's a little bit scuffed. But I think we might have to actually count on that happening. Alright, never mind. So now we have a very, very free attack here. Actually, you know what we could do? I don't want him to develop. Plus, this is basically dead to his Time Bomb, so I might as well do this and push more damage to face. He can block with 1, but then he can't develop for 2 mana either. So I kind of like that. I like the idea behind this play.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Clearly I am the problem.
I don't think so. No, I was just talking about how I like attacking with her here because if you top deck a Time Bomb, my 3-1 dies anyway. So I might as well sacrifice my 3-1. And in turn, because I'm doing this, you can't develop this turn for 2 mana. Since it just dies anyway.
Yep.
So I get a bit of a tempo play by sacrificing the 3-1. It only makes sense if you top deck the 1 damage AoE card though. I mean, it's just going to be Spiral Stairs and Blue Sentinel. No Ruination I can assume. Let's drop Blue Sentinel and get a mana gem next turn. And I think we're good. Actually, you know, there's no reason to drop it. I'm just going to drop this down and probably open attack. I also have leveled up Malphite, which is kind of cool. He didn't ruinate my board, but I don't think he would ruinate my board usually. So let's attack with everything. I think I think open attacking here is correct. We'll try to set up an open attack with Malphite as well. Like, I'm hoping for this to get Vengeance, so that I can replay her again. I don't want to drop Malphite while he has a Vengeance in hand. I want to waste his Vengeance. I don't think he has Ruination. He might, but I might be wrong. I'm just going to play Salt Spire if he doesn't kill Talia.
When I attacked earlier, you said that you didn't think it was the 2 damage would matter, but I feel like this, like, even though I'm at 18, the aggression is so relevant because I'm playing a Ruination deck for sure. Like, I can't go too low.
Sure.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, you can only go a certain amount of low because of Talia. Talia is a problem for that.
Yep, exactly.
I'm expecting a Ruination. Actually, no, Ruination doesn't make sense. He would have blocked if he had it.
I will find a future for Acacia.
I'm not quite mad at that. I'm going to play the Salt Spire in that case. I think he would have Vengeanced if he had it. I mean, I think he would have Vengeanced. He might Vengeance now that I don't have mana to play Talia. I kind of wanted to leave mana open for Talia. Here's the thing. I think the play here is going to be...
It's not going to get a better target. You're not going to help me out.
Alright.
Sitting on it for so long, hoping you would play something better.
Yeah. So now we have maximum mana. We have enough mana for Malphite if we want it. We need him to develop outside of Ruination range. So we're just going to pass here. There's no reason to attack at all. Does he have any face damage? I don't think he does. We can't play this into Talia. Like, we're just low on mana, unfortunately. I should be safe enough to do this. I've got the Salt Spire coming out next turn, which is really strong. And I have a Seed of Strength in hand coming out next turn, so we need to wait for it to drop low. There it is. Okay. Now we can play either Talia or Malphite. I think Malphite's pretty good here. You know what? I'm just going to drop Talia here and double up my Spire Rock, dude.
I will weave my own path.
Yikes.
Do you have a way to stop this?
To stop what part?
Lethal.
Maybe.
I think it might be it. Now the fun begins. I was hoping that was the case, because I really want to see the BAM. There we go. There's my dude. Rock solid, boys. He is rock solid.
Yeah, I mean, slamming the ground like that is about to be what happens to my face.
Indeed. I do want to see this unstoppable force either way.
Stop running.
Oh, that's a cool punch, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty
All right.
amazing.
For the fences!
Okay, I need to win
That was a
one
fun
game.
game.
I need to do my house some honor. Jeez.
That was a fun game. It's a fun deck. It's just so hard to play around all the Ruinations and Vengeances. Like, I had him the entire game in hand. I just couldn't drop him. So, what deck do you want to play?
I want to play the Nasus deck, the Zillion deck, one more time.
All right,
Let's see.
I'll go for Mr. Rock again.
Yeah. Then that way, if you beat me, then you'll just have 2-0'd me twice with both directions, and the world will know.
You got this. I believe in you.
Wait, I don't need you pumping me up. You're my enemy. Get out of here.
I'm 3-1. I'm not mad.
True, but I also don't want you to get any ideas of letting me win into your head. I won't.
Oh, never.
I want it to.
Never.
I want it to matter.
Not a chance. I'm going to try a different strategy this game. All right, we're going to go for, actually, I'm going to try to beat him super late game. Let's try, I can't do it because I need the landmarks, unfortunately. I'm going to keep both in hand, just because of Vengeance, but... All right, I've got a beautiful hand. You're done for.
Oh no.
You don't even know.
It wasn't good enough before, I guess.
Ah, this hand is nutty.
Oh no, yeah, there are some chip hands that just get out of control really quickly.
No, I'm actually meaning my hand sucks.
Oh, okay. I mean, I thought you were gonna go double chip into landmark 6 me, which would have been pretty wild.
Yeah, it would have been. Zillion is such a cool card. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I really think he's awesome. He's not so popular in League of Legends, but I think he's going to be much more fun and popular in Legends.
Oh, 100%. He's just pure control. My favorite kind of card for sure. That's rough. Rip. Well, GG it seems.
Really?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Probably.
Well, that's a lot of landmarks you have there, my friend.
It is. It's the only landmark I've drawn so far. Oh, life is tough. Oh no, dude. Oh wait, you're not gonna kill my landmark? Maybe. I guess. I don't know. You're gonna go the aggro route. I'm fine
Exactly.
with
I'm just trying to bash you. How greedy am I? I'm feeling pretty greedy. No. I have to try to win a game. I'm 0 for 3. I can't be wild.
that. Yeah, it's alright. I can take the damage. I'm really not concerned about taking damage in this matchup at all. I'm fine going down to like 5 HP, I think. Never one without the other, huh? Okay. Well, landmark it is. Let's make it an elusive we can actually chip with.
Wondered what was out there?
Like, I'm not mad at this hand. We have a decent board. Oh, this is so far away. I can't allow this to proc. That's the biggest issue we have. But I need to play cards this turn, which means I need to play probably Ground Slam. So this attacks, then this attacks, this attacks, and we'll see. I'm hoping he blocks with the Kindred, so I can do this afterwards, but we'll see what happens. Because this will get marked after he blocks, if he blocks with the 5-4. I'm in a tough spot.
Interesting. Or you're just trying to get me to make a huge mistake.
Never. I'd never do that.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's what I was praying for. That's what I was hoping for. I think that's the only way I can make a comeback in this game.
I mean, I do want it to be somewhat interesting. But I also do still want to win, though, so I'm gonna...
Of course.
my
No,
hand's
I had
not
to kill
fixed yet,
Kindred.
though.
If I didn't have a way to kill Kindred, I'd just lose this game, I think. Wow, what a bad hand.
I also kind of want to level up Zillion, so I'm kind of dragging it out a little.
Understandable.
Because I got a bomb right away, which makes me want to be greedy and like,
Yeah.
oh, get the second bomb, come on.
Yeah. I feel you. I'm alive. I'm down to 1 HP. I'm fine with this. I'm not upset. We're down to 1. Wait, I just lose the time bomb now, though, unfortunately.
Yes.
Oh no, dude. That's not a big deal. You know what? I'm just gonna break your heart. I refuse to see him leveling up. It's the mean part of me. No, don't level up for you. You can win, but not that way.
Oh man. I wanted to kill you with a time
Yeah.
bomb. Well, I guess I can still kill you with a time bomb, but it would have been better if you leveled when you died.
Yeah. This is interesting, to say the least.
This is definitely our closest game, I think.
Oh no, it's not even close. I'm being destroyed. Absolutely butchered. I think I need to go for landmarks. Holy moly. So the good thing is we have a stun here. His signature card is absolutely insane. So we actually might have a survival strategy here. I'm gonna attack with the 610. I think it's worth attacking with. Okay. And we kill off one of his units. We are alive for the time being. This is a great card. We have double stun. I wish I had one more landmark. No!
From the grave, Zillion gets his revenge.
Never lucky.
I'm not even gonna
1
attack you.
HP.
I'm gonna let you die to the bomb.
Yeah.
Malphite is also one of my favorite champions in League of Legends.
I had lethal next turn. Unfortunate for me.
I think it's quite fortunate.
Yeah. Wow, very close, man. Holy moly. Very, very close.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Alright, good game, man.
Good game, dude. I appreciate the games.
Okay, this card looks kind of broken, dude. At a first glance, a 3-mana 4/3 is pretty good with Fearsome. On top of that, you put Vulnerable into one blocker that can block it. Yo, that's a yikes for me, chat. This is a yikes from me. Yeah, I'm thinking of Callista. Callista's a good body overall in Fearsome decks. That's scary. Like, not even like, I'm not even thinking of Renekton here. I'm thinking of like, Elise Fearsome decks. So think about this. You literally have spiders that don't have fearsome. Everything else has fearsome. You usually have a couple of spiders that do nothing on your board. You drop this down. You have like 2 Mist Wraiths on board. Your spider can pull in the fearsome blocker, right? Your spiders now have a usage for themselves. And it puts another fearsome on. Dude, this is so good. This is so good. And you can combo this into like the Nightfall 4/1 fearsome as well. This is amazing. This is a scary aggro card. Curve into Renekton is pretty good as well, yes. Scary card. And the fact that it has 4 attack makes it a very good blocker. Like, its blocking power is very good. It trades very well. 3 HP is enough to survive a lot of things. Solid card. I think this is going to be a shining card in a deck or two. Especially in Renekton decks, fearsome decks, and whatnot. Nightfall, I'll aggro, yeah, exactly. Scary card. This is the first time seeing this card. It looks really scary to me. It's going to be a staple card for sure in a couple of decks. Yeah, if this was 4 cost, I'd say meh. That's how good it is. That I would actually not say unusable at 4 cost. I would just call it a meh card at 4. At 3, this is insane. Alright. Dancing Droplet. 1 mana, elusive, gives you your 1 mana back. Whenever called, draw 1. I mean, that's kind of scary. It's a weird card. I don't know. This is a turn 2 Zed, turn 2 any 3-drop in the game. That's actually really scary. Like, the fact that it gives you your mana back, you guys understand this. Dancing Droplet, turn 1. Turn 2, retreat and bounce back Zed into board on turn 2. That's and you draw a card doing it. That's super scary. This with retreat is amazing. Because it makes retreat a 2 mana. A 2 mana. Play a 3-cost card from your hand at burst speed. This card is insane. You don't necessarily play this with Monastery though. Like, I think this might be a Monastery bait. You need more reasons to play Monastery.
Dancing Droplet with Monastery and go hard.
I understand that. It's a cool combo. It is a cool combo. This can make Monastery a ton better. But it's not necessarily going to make a Monastery great. I think this makes a lot of other things better than Monastery. Retreat mainly, though. This is so good, dude. Like, this is... Look at the retreat cards we have. This is even really good with the 2/2, right? On mana 2, because you get your spell mana back. And you draw a card. That's so insane. Look how good it is with Navori. That's crazy. It's crazy how good this is with Navori. Look how good it is with Solitary Monk. It's crazy how good it is with Solitary Monk. And you know what the craziest part about all of this is? They're both elusives. Like, these are both elusives. That's insane. That's insane. It's so good with stuff like Homecoming as an activator. I think elusives are going to be a lot scarier than before with that one card. This card is crazy good. This card would be playable as a 0/1 some of the time. The fact that it can chip 1 damage per turn off of mana 1, costing 0 is crazy. I can't say enough good things about this. Too much power creep. This card is crazy good. Profiteer. When I'm summoned, create a Lucky Find in hand. Wait, is Lucky Find a 2-cost card or a 0-cost card? 0? Okay. It's not bad. Like, it's not bad. It's good for reputation. It has 5 attack. The defense is not horrible. It's a 4-drop. Yeah, I like it. It's not bad. It's not brokenly good. Payday is 2 cost. Thank you. It's not like broken, but it's decent. It's not really bad at all. I like it. I like that it exists. Competes with Sivir. Yeah, but you don't always have Sivir on mana 4. I like the card. It's never a really bad card to top deck either. 5 attack means it trades really well. 3 attack means it doesn't die to most removals. Reputation. That's why, yeah, I said that. The reputation part makes it very, very playable. Not amazing, but playable. Overall, solid card. Not amazing. Probably won't see much play, but might see play, depending on the meta. Depending how viable it is to play a 4-cost 5/3. Depends on how fast the game is. Like, versus aggro, this is bad. Because I think Lucky Find cannot get lifesteal. Can it? So versus aggro, I think this is a bit bad because it really can't block anything good. So yeah. But other than that, it's good versus mid-range and control, I would say. Shadows of the Past. Fast card. I've not seen this yet. Recall each ally and summon a living shadow in this place. What is a living shadow? Oh no. No way. What? That's broken, chat. Wait, is it? Is it broken? Okay, listen. Listen, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to tell you something right now, chat. It's not broken. It might actually be bad. It might actually be bad. It's between bad and broken. It's one of the two, man. I'm not sure. Because my gut instinct is telling me the following thing. Now, you don't level Zed with this, unfortunately, because Zed leaves the board. This is what my gut instinct says, chat. This card might make a certain archetype viable. The fact that it's Ionia. I think OTK Ephemerals might be really good here. So, what you might be doing here in this deck is... I think you're playing your Ephemerals to survive the game. And that's a really big trading hand. And you're saving, like, Encroaching Shadows in your hand as well. So you're saving up for Encroaching Shadows. You have one in hand. You're waiting. Eventually, you're going to just buff... You're going to play that card, block with all your elusives, play it. All your elusives are back in hand. You drop Encroaching Shadows. They're all very cheap elusives. You trade off the opponent's board. You drop all your elusives again. You OTK the opponent. I think something like that. It might be a really, really fascinating way to win games. I know it's not gonna. It's not about the Living Shadows. So what is the problem with Living Shadows at the moment? In deck in hand, it doesn't buff elusives on board, right? That's the main issue with this. Your elusives on board don't get buffed. So with an Encroaching Shadow OTK deck, you're unable to play your elusives if you want them to be useful for the OTK. You're dropping them on... You can't really drop them, or you have to hold them in hand. But if you hold them in hand, you have no blockers. You have no way to survive until you get the combo. You lose to aggro. The idea here is you can play your cheap elusives on board because they're all 1, 2, and 3 mana at max, right? You play them all on the board. And then finally, when you're ready, you do... on your opponent's turn, your opponent attacks, you block with all those elusives. Once you've blocked, you drop down... the Shadows of the Past, you bring them all back to your hand. You drop Encroaching Shadows, replay them all next turn, OTK. He can't block them, right? The problem before was you could never play elusives on board since recalling them was difficult, right? And you needed them to be in hand in order to get buffed with Encroaching. That's what makes this really cool. Secondly, you could have already played your Encroaching Shadows, but yeah, it's a really cool idea. I like it. I think that archetype might all of a sudden be more viable. And it's a really interesting archetype. And the problem with that is the elusives are unkillable. You can't Withering Wail them. You can't really avalanche them. They're all 3 HP or 5 HP plus because of Encroaching Shadows. I think this is either meme or dream. One of the two. It's not in the middle. This might be really, really cool, man. And it's not just that. It's off of anything that summons stuff. Like, if you have a very summon-heavy deck... there might be some really cool things I'm missing here. Like Mist Wraiths, for example. Is it good in Mist Wraiths? I don't think it is. But I can't be sure. If only it was 4 mana, because 5 mana is a bit expensive. If it was 4 mana, you could combo it with stuff like... imagine the following. Imagine you play Harrowing, you attack. Your opponent blocks the entire Harrowing. And then you play that card and you're basically drawing 6 cards, dude. And you're killing your opponent's blockers some of the time. Like, it's a shame you can't play it with Harrowing. That's one of the bummers. Yeah, it would fill hand with Living Shadows, but you don't want Living Shadows in hand. Karma usually has too many cards in hand. That tends to be a problem, so it's pretty bad with Karma. They Who Endure fodder. That's not bad for They Who Endure fodder. Honestly. Wow, that's a pretty cool idea, actually. Yeah, my They Who Endure go get a deck. That is a pretty big... That's a... it's not, though. It's... Well, actually it is. Yeah. I like that. I like that. Because then you can play a lot of these cheap drops, right? Ionia and Freljord. So the problem with this is you don't have enough early game drops to sacrifice without Shadow Isles. But all of a sudden you can start playing this, all of these really cheap dudes and like make multiple copies of them. I like this. You can replay a lot of Poros as well. How good is that with Poros? It's not really great with Poros because they lose the buff from the 3-cost card. You usually don't want to pull back Poros, unfortunately. I could definitely see this in my Day Hunter deck. That's a pretty cool idea. I like it. I do like it. It's a very, very cool idea. No atrocity against Day Hunter. Yeah, but I played a different version of it. I don't know if you guys remember my Day Hunter deck. That's very cool. All right, enough about that card. Let's finish this off. We have Eye of the RA-HORAK. I've not seen this yet. 5 mana cost landmark. Countdown 1. Stun the 2 weakest enemies. Daybreak. Summon a copy of me with countdown 2. Yo, this is this card single-handedly is very strong versus Lee Sin. This usually will always stun the Lee Sin. Because Lee drops on 5, right? They usually have like 1 unit on the board. He drops on 5, you drop this. He can't attack next turn. And if you drop this as Daybreak, you can do it on... It's just so good. It's really good with Yasuo. Agreed. It's decent versus aggro when you play it in your turn. This is solid, man. Call me crazy. I think this would be better if this was countdown 3. It would be better at countdown 3. Then you can use it either defensively or offensively in both cases. That's really cool, dude. This card is really... I love this card. I'm going to say it. I love this card. And why do I love it? Because it's the kind of deck I love to play. I love playing decks that are very stall-oriented for cool win conditions late game. 5 mana is bad against aggro. Not necessarily. 5 mana stop 2 attackers. It's not great, but it's not horrible. It can be late, yes. But keep in mind, you're playing Targon, which has probably the most healing in the game a lot of the time. Has a ton of lifesteal units. Has a ton of ways to This is not bad. Solari Sunhawk. Daybreak stun the strongest enemy. That's pretty dang good. It delays, like it forces things like to open attack every time, because if you don't open attack, you lose your best attacker. It gets rid of their best blocker as well a lot of the time, which means you can attack with your champions. It's great with Lee Sin. It's great because it's a Daybreak card. It goes well with Leona. It's good in so many decks. Blade Dance. Start a free attack with that many summoned blades. Basically, let's say Blossoming Blade, play Blade Dance 2. It'll mean that you're going to have 2 blades attacking the enemy. I feel like you don't lose the attack token. You should not lose the attack token from doing it. So let's say you drop this on 2. Automatically, there is a blade attacking your opponent, and you keep your attack token. Furthermore, you can probably do this on your opponent's turn as well. Drop this down. Snapvines, hello. Interesting with Snapvines. I like that thought. I have not thought about this. I think the Snapvine's not attacking, though. That's the thing. I don't think the Snapvine attacks. Because how it's Snapvine worded, Snapvine, I think it kills the unit and then summons a Snapvine, not in its place. I don't think the wording says in its place. It shouldn't. To summon, yeah. So it just summons a Snapvine. So this is just... It literally makes no difference whether it's blades or whether it's like we have the Targon. Like we have the Targon 1-drops. Like this versus this, there's no real difference. This is just cheaper, so it's not really a great Snapvine activator. There's many better ones out there. First card to talk about, Ribbon Dancer. Play Blade Dance 1. 2 mana with a 1/1 attacking that gets obliterated. It feels underwhelming. Anti-aggro? Why is that anti-aggro? It's not anti-aggro at all. Because the 1/1, it gets obliterated. Like this is a 2 mana 2/1 defensively. Can't block Fearsome. The 1/1 disappears right after if the person takes face damage or whatever. This is an aggro card. This is not an anti-aggro card. Very underwhelming. Again, we really can't talk about this card until we know what Irelia does. Okay? If we don't know what Irelia does, we cannot talk about this card. In a Misfortune deck, I can see this being decent. This can level up Misfortune. Here's the crazy thing. Imagine you have Misfortune on board and you play 3 of these one at a time. That's 3 attacks. You can level Misfortune in 1 turn with these. These are basically in Misfortune's eyes rallies. Okay? Azir as well. Correct. I know what Blade Dance is. I just read it, man. Azir too. So this has a lot of aggro potential. On its own, I think it sucks. Okay? On its own, I think this card is bad. But when coupled with certain support cards like Azir or like Misfortune, I think this has potential. I see a lot of potential in this when coupled with the right cards. But on its own, yeah, I'm not a fan. This will never be a standalone card. This needs to go in a certain archetype. So overall, I think very mech card. Maybe strong enough of a mechanic to build around though. Plunder. It's cool. I mean, it's okay for Plunder. It's not crazy. Like, they can still block the 1/1. Coastal Defender. When you summon an ally, give me +2/+0 this round. Oh, man. Oh, this is complicated. This is so complicated to really say how good it is. 6 HP is not a joke now. It's a really bad blocker, though, for open attacks. Like, 2 attack is really bad for when something open attacks. If there was good burst ways to buff this, it would be really good. But I don't know what good burst ways there are other than, like, Jury Rig. Pretty much everywhere you're going to be buffing this is slow speed. That's the problem here. It's a good attacker. This is going to have, like, 10+ damage in certain decks easily. Yeah, Arise, yeah, sure. Arise is a decent way to do it. But who main decks Arise, really? Sapling? Mist Wraiths? No, I'm not saying there are no ways to do it. There are ways to do it, man. But there's very few good ways to do it. This is super interesting. Like, because it goes well with, like, Blade Dance for sure. It goes really well with cards like Azir. It's an interesting card. It doesn't have Overwhelm, but then we have this card which we can consider as a finisher with something like this. Like, these two fit together really well. It's a really cool concept. It has no keywords, no Fearsome, no Overwhelm, no anything. So, we have to... Does it stack? Yes. Almost
Coastal
certainly
Defender
does.
with Haunted Relic also?
When you summon an ally, give me +1/+1 this round. When you summon an ally, give me +2/+0. It's exactly the same wording, so it will stack over itself over and over and over again. This will stack. That's why this can go to like 10, 12, 14 damage on an Azir deck. Because, like, imagine you have this on board. You play this, he's already 6 damage. Then the blade attacks, which summons, let's say, 2 sand soldiers. That's already 10 damage. Alright? Then you attack again with this and everything. Then you do the real attack, which means you're summoning another 2 sand soldiers. That's already 14 attack. Like, that's 14 attack with almost no commitment of mana. You're doing 14 damage with this with only having played 2 mana if you have a Azir plus, like, the landmark on board, which is not hard to set up at all. Like, this is going to be hitting for 14 plus often. Like, and then you swap it for, yeah. So, I feel like this can be a very scary card in the right deck. But again, it has to be in the right deck. So, this card might be absolutely busted because of the HP, because you can't remove it easily. Atrocity, the problem with Atrocity is you have to play this in a Shadow Isles deck. Now, there are a lot of ways to make that work. There are a lot of ways to make this playable in a Shadow Isle deck. The real issue is Shadow Isles has no way to make this hit face except for Atrocity. Like, this is getting chump blocked, and you can't give it Overwhelm. You can't really give it Fearsome. You can't really make him elusive. Like, what is Shadow Isles offering? I guess you can give him Ghost from Ionia. Sharks and everything, yeah. But he's getting chump blocked. And Psycho... maybe you're right. Maybe this card is what's going to activate him a lot of the time. You might be right. All right. Next card. Blossoming Blade. 4 mana, 3/3. Play Blade Dance 2. Now, that's a solid card. This card is way more solid than this, I would say. It has a good stat base of 3/3. In Legends of Runeterra, 3/3 has always been a very strong stat base. It has. It chumps block without dying to early drops. It can kill mid-range drops some of the time. 3 damage is very significant. 3 HP is very significant. It's a balanced spot. It's like a Babbling Bjerg, but instead of drawing a card, he gives you 2 Blade Dance. In a Blade Dance deck for 4 mana, I like it. I think this is more solid than this, but I still think this might see play. 3 mana for 4 is kind of poo-poo, though. It's not if it has a really good effect, and I think this effect in a Blade Dance deck might be necessary. Like, imagine Misfortune into this. Like, that's significant. That's significant damage to face. You get 2 little 1/1s all attacking, all doing... Yeah, I like it. I like it. I think it's pretty strong. Something to keep in mind is these are all play effects, not summon effects. So, that is something to consider. But I like it overall. I think it's a solid card. Alright. ZINNEIA, Steel Crescendo. 8 mana, elusive 3/5. When you Blade Dance, I attack with the blades. Play Blade Dance 1. So, when you play this, you automatically attack with it. For free, which means you can attack again with it. That means this attacks twice per turn at a minimum. At a minimum, it attacks twice per turn. And then after that, you can start Blade Dancing to keep attacking with it. It's so bad. Its stats are meh. I don't know, man. I think this is a scary finisher. I think this can be a very scary finisher. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to remove it. No impact 8 cost. It's 6 damage to face 8 cost. With continued damage every single other turn. Like, after this is on board as well, like every time you play Rumen Dancer, that's 3 damage to face. Guaranteed. No, if it was a 6/6, this would be broken beyond belief. This is a scary card. I don't know if it's good. I don't know. I don't know if it's good, though. It might be great. It might not. You know, because in order for this card to shine, it has to play in a full-on Blade Dance deck. I don't know how many times you can Blade Dance per turn. Imagine, okay, just imagine for a second, chat, that you're able to Blade Dance 4+ times per turn. Okay? How much damage is this dealing? That's a ridiculous amount of damage. Alright, last but not least, Syncopation. Oh my goodness, this card is beautiful. I actually tweeted about it. I almost never tweet about cards, but oh my goodness. This card's amazing, chat. In so many ways, I love that it exists. This is the kind of card I live for, man. This can fizzle so many enemy spells. This can do so many different things, dude. It's so powerful. Cheap way for Lee Swain, Bird. I mean, no, it's so good for so many different things, dude. But this is not really a karma card. This is a fizz card. This is a Garen card. This is a many different cards card. I don't know if it fizzles the card with fizz, because I don't know if this activates Fizz's thing before or after he switched into position. So I'm not sure about that. Is it confirmed by the devs that it fizzles the card? Devs confirmed it. Swim tested it. Wait, how did he test it? Oh, Stand United. Okay, okay. Nice. So Stand United works with Fizz. That's awesome. Smart guy. That's why I like Swim. Fantastic. Swim has a... That's awesome. Alright. So it even works great with Fizz in that case. Dude, that's a scary Fizz deck, by the way. Because Fizz Ionia, the only thing that kills Fizz is board wipes, Ronations, Avalanches. The fact that you have Denies available. Is Fizz immortal now? Like, this is the card that makes Fizz immortal. This card is insane. And like, the thing is, this automatically becomes the world's best to deny with Fizz on board. Like, you can play other greedy units with Fizz and make other units immortal. Not only Fizz, but other units become immortal with Fizz. Wow, that's so cool. That is so cool. That is so cool, dude. Dude, now you can actually... Maybe you can play ZINNEIA with this deck. ZINNEIA Fizz, for example. You play... All the Blade Dance cards are in Ionia anyway. Maybe Fizz, you're splashing Fizz. Fizz is like the removal... Like, Fizz is just another way to make it impossible to clear your board. Maybe that's the way to build this. Maybe ZINNEIA Syncopation Fizz is a deck that is going to just take over the ladder. I kind of want to build that. That sounds so disgusting. So you run 3 denies, you run no nopifies because it's not necessary, you run syncopation, and you're good to go. You run this over nopify and it's so much better. Hush still destroys Fizz. Yeah, but how does Hush stop Fizz? You Hush the Fizz and you use removal on him, you just knock him out of the way of removal. You just hide Fizz, right? So they Hush Fizz and they block Fizz. Okay, you syncopation him out of the way and you put something else in front. They still need to use removal on him and you still have denies, you still have ways to keep him alive. Nopify stops ice shards, like, it's Ionia, that's the thing. Time bombs and Zillion counter Fizz anyway. To an extent, yes. That's why I'm excited for Zillion. ZINNEIA can be buffed in hand or field. True. You can buff this for sure, and that's a very scary thing to do. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this, man. I'm going to have a lot of fun with these cards. I'm most excited for this card. I think this card could be a lot of fun as well, though. Both great cards. Wait, the more grapplers, the better? Chat, do you want more grapplers? Do you want more grapplers, chat? Type 1 if you want more. Is 2 not enough? For the time being. This is a great card. I wish I had one more landmark. Go away, grappler. Go away, mini grappler. Nobody called you. Nobody called you, mini grappler.